I guess I'll just say Whitley Strieber sent me an email telling me to never again publicly discuss the UFO crash I witnessed, and I think he did it for my own protection. And so the people in that arena, Whitley Strieber, Richard Dolan, Linda Moulton Howe, Stephen Bassett, are people who have multiple times corresponded with me because they know I'm a witness. If you were to ask them about what I witnessed, they're not going to talk about it. All right, so on April 25th, 2003 at 12:50 a.m., I was driving at a location I don't really care to mention, and at night, this was at night, and I saw a perfectly shaped light blue oval of light, stunningly bright, come flying down from the sky, nearly vertical, and then strike the other side of a mountain from where I was positioned, and the overcast sky lit up in multiple flashes of blue and orange.
Okay.
And originally I thought it was a meteor. You know, I didn't know any better. This is quite some time ago. I didn't know any better. Thought it was a meteor, but then about 3 years later, I researched meteors and discovered there's no way what I saw was a meteor, because what I saw was a perfectly shaped, light blue, stunningly bright oval of light with no trail whatsoever, and it was a steady glow, and it gave no appearance whatsoever of being on fire. And some years later, I think it might have been 2009, I discovered the crash location via satellite imagery. I decided to go search for it. And the crash impact zone is on the side of a mountain. The diameter of the impact is roughly 1,200 feet in diameter. It caused a 2,500 foot long landslide. I've been to that location, and it's reached a point now where if you try to go to that side of the mountain, you're going to see a fence all the way along it, about every 100 feet, no trespassing. So I don't think you're going to be able to go there. But I've been there looking up at the side of that mountain, looking at what I basically referred to as my crash impact zone. I've been warned by people not to go public with what I'm talking about right now. As one example, I was warned by Whitley Strieber not to publicly discuss it. I was interviewed by a man named Daryl Sims, former CIA, about what I witnessed. We went back and forth, and he asked me multiple questions about it through email. And at the end of the day, he basically said to me, can you just basically forget about what you witnessed? Which was insulting to me, but I, ultimately get it because it's a national security issue. And it's a pretty intimidating situation for me. Oh, by the way, keep in mind, I've been warned not to go public with this. And that's Jerry Pippin also warned me about it. He said our correspondence was being monitored by the NSA. I presented this to talk show host Jerry Pippin back at that time, too.
Yeah.
And he wanted to go public with it on his radio program. He wanted to know the location. I got nervous, and I told him I don't want to talk about it anymore. He didn't take me seriously. He kept talking about it over the radio, and I kept telling him, don't talk about it. And, he tried to go too far with it. And ultimately, he and I were in the middle of corresponding, and suddenly he told me, we have software tracking ability to know if we're being monitored by government. And he indicated that we were being monitored by the NSA, and that the last thing he said to me was, be careful, be careful. And we ended our correspondence. I wanted to go back to one step before I forget, which you asked me to present some images.
Yes.
Well, I made screen capture imagery from multiple angles back then, of Google Earth screen capture video, 15 minutes long, of that crash impact zone from multiple angles on the side of that mountain. And I don't know, it seems really odd, but if you look at it, like I said, the crash impact zone, the crater is about 1,200 feet in diameter with a landslide of about 2,500 feet roughly. And oddly, there appear to be mechanical objects on the ground, which I found rather odd because I'm pretty sure that object was moving at thousands of miles per hour. But anyhow, I made a 15-minute screen capture video of it, basically a documentary. And I couldn't see myself posting that online, but I do have it on flash drive, I have it on disk, and I have it on hard drive.